So, what is Trump's real immigration plan? We've seen so much anxiety and confusion for the past few weeks. Green card holders are being detained and jailed. Student visas are being revoked without notice. People are losing their Social Security benefits for immigrants just like that. So many changes are happening. Immigrants are being forced to be fined if they don't leave the country. What is behind all this? Well, there's one thing that is pushing all this, and this is self-deportation. What is self-deportation and what is the idea behind this? We'll talk about this in this video, and also what are the plans for this administration moving forward in the next few months. For those of you watching my videos every single week, this is one of the most important ones for you to understand what the agenda is and where this administration is heading. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Immigration Channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about Trump's real immigration plan. What is driving all these green card detentions? People on green cards are being detained and jailed. Student visas are being revoked without notice. People are losing their Social Security benefits, and immigrants are being fined daily for failure to live. Remember that immigration, the whole idea with Trump administration in the beginning was mass deportation, but they realized really fast that you can't just deport people in thousands without having such an impact on the country and on their resources. So instead, they are going through different stages, different plans to actually force people to leave voluntarily. These self-deportations are happening in many instances through all the things we've seen happen in the past several weeks. And I'm going to break down all the different things that happened and what are the things that will happen moving forward. And most importantly, what you can do if you are going through the immigration process, whether if you have a green card or if you're here on a visa, how can you navigate those different things and also understand what is coming next for us, so it will make you more prepared and more aware how to stay safe and informed under this administration. So let's start first by understanding what is the main goal of this administration from day one by reading all these executive orders. And trust me, guys, I went through all these executive orders, so you don't have to. And I'm going to summarize for you the key elements of what you need to understand and how it's impacting what's moving forward. The first step is mass deportation plan. Remember in the beginning, the administration said they're going to be focusing on criminals. And they started deporting people every single day. They had quotas of 75 people a day or whatever the quotas were. And then they realized, well, we don't have enough criminals. What can we do? So then they expanded it. And without notice, we had people being detained who were not criminals, people that were in the wrong place, in the wrong time, and they were picked up. Then we had the raids at work. People were coming, ICE agents were raiding different places of employment, detaining immigrants who are not criminals necessarily. And they were also being jailed and kept in detention for weeks and months at a time. So this was the beginning, this mass fear of who can be detained. And I've made all these videos in the beginning, told you, what are your rights if they come to your home? What are your rights if they come to your office? What can you do to protect yourself if ICE agents are going to start targeting you? But that wasn't enough because they couldn't find people and they couldn't deport so many people. So they had to come up with a better plan. So phase number 2 was intimidation. How can we intimidate more people to make them actually want to leave voluntarily? So then they expanded the point of detaining people to a list of people that don't even have criminal convictions, people that necessarily just lost their status and they're here and they're now being detained. And then they expanded it to people calling ICE tips. You know, if you know somebody who was undocumented, you need to let us know. So the mass deportation with the intimidation was phase number 1. But as I said to you guys, it didn't work. It wasn't enough. So now we're moving to other elements. You notice that 3 weeks ago, they started focusing on people that had minor violations, whether you had a DUI 15 years ago, whether you had a traffic violation that ended up being in court, or any minor criminal things that you had in your past. Those things are now devastating for your status. And it started with green card holders. Green card holders that were traveling to the country. Suddenly, there was probably some kind of an internal notification that stated that if you're a green card holder and you had any minor violation in the past, you will be flagged. And many, many green card holders started to get flagged at airports, getting detained, and had issues to come back to the country. We also had people with visas that had minor violations, even traffic violations, that had their visas canceled or they were denied entry to the United States. This has been going on for the past month. And guess what? Phase number 3 is the revocations of visas. Visas got started revoked. We had student visa being revoked. We had people that came here as visitors and they had any minor violations. The State Department started sending notices of visa revocations. Now, this was not enough. This was not enough. Visa revocations were not enough. People literally lost their status and they were forced to leave the United States unless they had any other way to adjust their status. Well, they came up with another plan. This plan was with respect to people's social security numbers. If you had a social security number and you were undocumented, you were here and your status was expired, now they came up with a plan to come after those social security numbers. Now, let me explain to you what this plan was and what they're doing with this, because I get a lot of questions about it. And that's the reason why I made this video. Before we talk about the social security and how it's going to be forcing people to leave the United States voluntarily, if you're here for the first time, guys, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to make those videos for you guys every week. Click the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. And also give us a big like so YouTube will be able to show these videos to more people just like you. As always, if you need help with your immigration matters, send me a text 619-483-4549 or go to www.immigrationasap.com. Leave your details and one of our team members will contact you ASAP. So if you're an immigrant and you ever had a social security number, now what the government is saying is that they're going to start terminating people's social security numbers. If you're undocumented, they're going to move you to what is called a death list, as if you're not existing, you're not alive anymore, which means all your benefits are gone. So what is it going to do to immigrants? It's going to, first of all, lose your ability to work legally, right? Then it's going to freeze your bank accounts and any investments you have. If you use a social security, you won't be able to access anymore to verify your accounts. Then what it's going to do is potentially you're probably going to lose your job. If your company cannot verify who you are, you're going to lose your job. You won't be able to survive. You won't be able to have an income. It's going to create financial hardship. And it's going to push thousands of immigrants to essentially leave the country because they're not going to have any other way to live and survive in the United States. Now, remember, if this happened to you, if you receive a notice that your social security number is no longer valid, make sure you go check with Social Security Administration to make sure there's no issues with your number. And if there are, try to verify what happened. But this is going to be a big issue for a lot of people that actually paid into the Social Security Administration, but now they're not going to be able to get their benefits. Next thing they said that if you are in this country and you were ordered removed and you stayed in this country despite your removal order, they're going to start charging you $900 a day as a fine because of because you haven't left the country. So these financial pressures that they are posting on immigrants is going to be their way to get people out of the country voluntarily. The final thing was that they created the app CBP Home. And through this app, there's a whole campaign from the government encouraging people to register in the app, leave voluntarily, even if they've been undocumented here for many years. And if they do leave voluntarily, they're not going to be penalized when they come back to the United States in the future. So you can see the plan here is to try to get as many people as possible to leave the country. This is happening in the first 100 days of this administration, probably the first 6 months before they will even consider talking about any immigration reform, before they're going to be even considering doing something that will actually help immigrants to be able to stay in this country legally or help immigrants to be able to get visas. Right now, it's all about pushing people to leave, getting people out, even people that are applying for visas at embassies and consulates overseas. We have a lot of people that get approved by the immigration. I made a video about O1 visas that are being rejected at US embassies and consulates abroad because of the increased vettings that now we can see at embassies and consular overseas. So the point right now is that letting less and less people in, making sure that more and more people they don't want will leave voluntarily. And even if people are here as immigrants, you're applying for a green card, you have advanced parole, people get denied their advanced paroles. They're making it harder for people to go through the immigration process right now. So guys, remember, if you're watching this video and you're going through the immigration process, you got to be patient. You got to be vigilant. You got to making sure that you understand what your rights are and don't fall into this psychological pressure because it's very hard. It's very, very sad and it's very, very overwhelming to see people get deported, to see that if you have Social Security now, your benefits are gone, you can't even access your bank account, to see that your visa is now revoked and you have no other way to stay in the United States, even though you've done everything you right, you paid for school, you came here legally, and you're still being moved out of the US. So this is what's happening right now. The real immigration plan under this administration is to get people out, as many as they can, in the first 6 months. After that, you're going to see more shifts in this administration. You can see more programs to help people come here who are with money, who are qualified, who are educated. Those things will happen. But for now, the real plan is to get you out. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. Let me know your experience if you went through this. And if you need help with your immigration matters, send me a text, 619-483-4549, or go to www.immigrationsap.com. Leave your name, leave your details, and one of my team members will help you ASAP. Thanks for watching this video. Stay safe out there. It's not easy now, but you got this. And I'll see you in the next video.